to you. Jean-Luc Brunel was a big handler with him, running a similar operation. He ended up committing suicide.
There's like Epstein. No, they both died in jail. Pretty suspicious. Sorry.
No. You can have your opinion that maybe he is involved, maybe he is. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, that the way Trump counters this is just releasing everything.
Yeah, you're totally right. There's a lot more going on, and I think the more that's released, the better. But unfortunately, the people in control are very wealthy, very, very rich, and they control the media and they control the mainstream, everything. So I'm just hoping that, by people like you and I speaking and more people speaking, that these people will be taken down one by one. Because, there are more of us than there are of them. And I think that's the most important thing we need to realize. These bastards controlling society, we feel like weak against them, but we're not, because we're together. And there are more of us than there are of them.
I totally agree with you. So where do you see this going? What would you like to see be done by Congress, by the people? What needs to happen next? Because this definitely threatens the entire power structure. We need to press the attack.
Well, I just like to see an honest, happy world where children don't get hurt and where young people don't, and where no one gets hurt. Adults get hurt too. Like even with this Epstein thing, it's not just about the children and the young girls who got hurt. The public's been hurt by this. So I just hope that the world becomes more honest and transparent, and that the better leaders in power, and that people actually have a voice. And I just want to see all children fed. I just want to see a happy world. That's I guess that's what we all want, right, Alex?
Yes, but the globalists admit they love destabilization. They love to let crime operate. They love to let crises happen that they can then manage. They never want to actually fix things because then they don't have a pretext to stay in control. I read Zbigniew Brzezinski's books when I was a teenager, his political science books, and he bragged about it in the books. I saw Bukele come out and expose how this really works in a video yesterday. We'll play after you leave us. We'll take some final phone calls, and then I've got some very powerful special reports we're going to be getting to ahead of the war room today, and that is at 3 p.m. Central in just about an hour and 7 minutes from now. But imagine, because I've wanted to interview you for a while. You've been on once before, Juliette Bryant. What else do you want to impart to viewers and listeners that they don't know, or what's an Epstein story you've never told?
And one thing is that they say he was a maths teacher, but he told me he was a cab driver. And also when he was apparently a maths teacher, he misspelled his name on the board. So it's very confusing when a maths teacher writes their name incorrectly on the board. He told me he was a cab driver. So I don't know where that all fits in. I think people need to do a lot more research into how he became a math teacher. Also, another thing I want to know is, where are all the students that he taught? Surely one of them would have come out and say, yes, Epstein was my teacher. And also, if he was a pedophile, as we know he is, but he was, he would have been pedophiling the students, correct? So why?
Well, you know who was the head of the girls' school? It was Bill Barr's dad.
Yeah, and Bill Barr wrote the space book and everything.
Well, his dad wrote a book called Space Relations, where they kidnap human children and put them on a sex planet where they're raped by demons.
Yeah, well, fuck them all. Sorry to swear again. I'll pay for it. Sorry. But I'm sorry. It just bothers me deeply that these people even, like, who writes a book like that? Who the hell is going to sit and write a book about that? Sorry.
Who runs a all-girls school where you take Epstein with no background or no education degree and make the head of a whole system.
Yeah, and Epstein's mansion apparently used to be a school as well. Do you know that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and that place was very creepy. It was all empty in the middle. It's like, but yeah, there's a lot more going on here, and I think what people need to do is do more thorough research. Mm-hmm. Don't trust anything you're told by the media. Just research and research. Do proper research. Mm-hmm. So, we can't believe what we're told anymore, right, Alex? We can't believe what we're told.
No, I don't think we can. So you were in Zorro Ranch, you were at the Epstein Island, and you were in New York and Paris?
Yeah, and they took me to and Palm Beach.
How'd you finally get out of it?
Well, I just started becoming disobedient, and I wouldn't listen to him as much. And I actually put on weight, to be honest. I became badly bulimic, and I started putting on weight. And I think that he didn't like girls who were a bit chubby. That was my way out.
Wow. What about the other women that some of which he bought when they were 10 years old out of Eastern Europe, and that they were like managers for him, correct?
I didn't see any girls that were 10 years old, but I did meet girls who were 17 years old.
No, I meant girls that he
like
bought when they were like 10, who later had been developed into managers.
Yeah, I don't even know like more of all of that, but I just know that they're very, very evil people, and they're very bad, and they're lying. And I really hope more truth comes out soon.
I'm just saying a lot of the women that they're saying are victims were originally victims, but a lot of them,
yes.
have been recruited into being handlers.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Just apparently what I've been told is the girls that got the highest settlements are the girls that were actually working with him, because they're the ones who have the most to hide. So they've been like paid to shut up. It seems. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying that that's apparently what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I don't blame any of them. It's just, it's a horrible situation for these people.
Well, I wasn't blaming the women,
but they're bad, actually.
But obviously, Stockholm syndrome. I think it's important to understand that these women got grabbed when they were kids, according to the reports.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Alex, Stockholm syndrome is one thing. Being a bad person is another thing. Like, they offered me $2,000 for any girl I could find for them, $4,000 a month to live there. I didn't live there. I didn't want to be there. So, some people went for it. I'm lucky I had a family at home. Maybe some of these girls didn't have families, and they had nowhere else to go.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what people need to realize. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you came from a little bit classier background. All these girls were from trailer parks. I think it's girls in trailer parks, but that's where they were mainly getting them.
Wasn't really classy, but my parents were divorced. It wasn't easy at all.
Well, definitely classier than where they got some of the girls.
My mom made sure I was sent to a good school. My mom made sure I was given a good education, basically.
All right, we got a 2-minute break. I want to do 5 more minutes to have closing comments. Then we'll take some phone calls.
People can use this as a teaching moment. That, there's I see a lot of these people out there who think they can imitate Alex Jones, and they have never understood the amount of work that goes in to the detailed reports that you do. Part of that is, but the second part is, okay, if you're out there and you want to be Alex Jones or replicate Alex Jones, Alex teaches you the way to do it. Just pay attention. One is learn history, understand what templates to look for. Once you understand that, you understand what the play is going to look like. And then you're just looking for who to cast in what roles, because you understand the broader course of history, how these things tend to operate, how assassinations tend to occur, how cover-ups tend to happen, how false flags occur, how staged events occur, how also the various forms of COINTELPRO type psyops to infiltrate dissident movements to distract them from the real conspiracy into fake conspiracy, in order to feed fake conspiracies into people who otherwise would be investigating the real conspiracy. Also to act as a discrediting agent. So learn the methodologies, learn how to look at how to review sources, how to understand the psychology of the participants involved. Once you understand that, you can be much more accurate and predictive at what took place, with more explanatory power and more predictive capacity. And that's what Alex does, is massive amounts of work that starts with understanding history.
Welcome to the Great Reset. Eat the bugs. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Take the vaccine. Trust the science. Get your booster. Every crisis is an opportunity, and the world will be reshaped in our vision. Down with the globalist. Get ultramethylene red at thealexjonesstore.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
final short segment with Juliet Bryant. Then I'm going to jam in Jack, Pablo, Ryan, Joseph, and Charles because I got other news I want to hit that's really important. But Juliet Bryant, looking at all this and looking at what's coming out and seeing where culture is in general, do you think the elites that did this to you and others are in decline, or are they just been replaced with other people?
It does look like they're after them. Look like, Bill Clinton, apparently they're not answering to the subpoena. Leslie Wexner, apparently they're after him as well. Bill Richardson's dead, the man who they took me to his mansion and introduced me to him. It seems like a lot of these people are dropping dead, and I think we just need to send out a lot of love and positivity and also not vote for these assholes. But the problem is in America, who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for a Democrat or a Republican, and that's not what it comes down to. It's not about race. It's not about Democrat or Republican. This is about good versus evil. That's what it's about.
Well, it really is. So as negative as people get, and I get negative too, I think about how 20 years ago, maybe 1% of people knew about this. I'd say 30, 40% know about these things today. And I see that number growing. So in a way, I'm very overall optimistic and positive about the fact that humanity.
Yes. You're totally right. It's about awakeness and awareness. It's like a chain reaction. And the more that people understand and the more that they do their own research and they get, people on the right track, and people must just work on try to be a good person, We all have our faults, but the thing is to just be good and not try hurt anyone. That's the main thing I'd say here, because those assholes, they're all going to die for what they've done. They're going to rot in hell for it. So, if anyone else is hurting anyone, I'd suggest they stop right now.
Well, I remember during the debate between Trump and Hillary, the last one, when he had the women raped by Bill Clinton in the audience, and how Bill Clinton got so upset. I would hope the next time there's a debate and like some Democrat that's been involved is there, that the Republicans ought to have you come, to the event. Did you ever see any Republicans at Epstein's Island?
Well, that's the weird thing, is that I only met Epstein with Clinton and stuff, and then at Epstein's Island there were only scientists and Michael Bay, the movie producer. I didn't see anyone there, and I never saw any girls being trafficked to any other men. I only met Michael Bay and scientists. So they can say that girls are being trafficked to people. Apparently it did happen, but I didn't actually see that happening. We were all trafficked to Epstein. We were being taken to his room, but I don't think that as many girls, I think there's a lot more going on here. Because also like Virginia Gifford having the lawsuit against Prince Andrew and getting £12 million settlement. If there were more girls who were abused by men in power, surely there would be more settlements. And also the whole way they opened up this case was they said that Virginia Gifford and Sarah Ransom were sex trafficked to Alan Dershowitz. But Virginia Gifford retracted her statement, and I don't know what happens, but basically they opened it up with sex trafficking through that. Because when you actually look at that, okay, there are 2,000 victims, but where are the men they were trafficked to? Because these girls would have lawsuits against them if there was, something to do. And I think that's what we need to look at as well.
Well, you've got our information and contact. Anytime you've got some breaking news or analysis, we'd love to get you to pop on and talk about this, because this is like the string on the sweater that can unravel the whole thing, and it's basically already happening, and we're hot on their tail in 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're going to catch them, all of us together, right?
Real fast. What time?
You're on my side. We're all together here. We're all going to catch them. Because those bastards. I don't want to even talk about them again. I just want to catch them all. I just want them never to hurt anyone ever again.
I hear you. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Be safe. People can find you again on X at Juliet Bryant. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Alex. Have a lovely evening.
You bet. Bye. All right. We're going to come back with your phone calls. Then I've got all this other news I haven't hit yet coming up. Stay with us.